The Greatest Showman is a great movie that Rotten Tomatoes slept on. One of the strongest things about The Greatest Showman has to be the songs, a few of which I think are absolute gems and deserve a lot more praise. However, I do think it's important to note that I don't hate or dislike any of these songs. The worst I will say is that they are okay, that is it, but with all of that out of the way, let's get into this. I am not a huge fan of This Is Me. I love the message behind the song. I like what the writers were going for, showing that you shouldn't be ashamed of who you are. I like the scene in the movie and I like the song. However, I do believe that this song is outdone in a way by the rest of the songs, and another thing is that the lyrics aren't too memorable for me. I do apologize to anyone who has this as their favorite song, it's just not for me. The song that starts it all off. To give this song credit, it was the song that set the mood of what this movie was going to turn into. However, while I have a lot of praise for this song, I do believe that a few small things are holding it back for me personally. Like when the lyrics start, I can barely hear Hugh Jackman talking. And also, while this song was exciting, I didn't feel a connection between myself and the song unlike a bunch of the other songs on this list. But with that being said, I still thought it was great aside from that one misstep for Hugh Jackman. I think he did great. Same with Zac Efron and Zendaya and everyone else, they all did amazing. So out of 10, I'm gonna give this one a 7.1. Very decent. Come Alive is a good song that I would go as far to say that this may be one of the most underrated songs on this list. Not from lack of views, but lack of recognition. I don't hear enough people talking about this song when The Greatest Showman is in the conversation. But with all that being said, the reason I put Come Alive this low on the list was because just comparing it to most other songs on this list that I either think are beautiful overall or just connect with me more. It has good lyrics, a very well made beat, the editing for this scene was great. I have no problems with this one. Also, one last thing. Hugh Jackman was whispering towards the beginning, but unlike The Greatest Showman, from now on, I can actually understand what he's saying here, which makes me happy. This song is absolutely beautiful and breathtaking, heck, probably even better than the original version. However, Never Enough Reprised I think is too short, and if it was longer, then I could see myself putting it over the original. Never Enough is a breathtaking song with Lauren Allred having a spectacular performance. However, I put this song in 7th mainly because in the movie she is just standing on a stage and singing while showing other characters' reactions to her singing. And while it is beautiful, the rest of the songs that I have ranked higher, there's a lot more going on as opposed to this one. Believe me, if there was more going on, then this would be a top 5 easily. From Now On starts off slow, but once the beat kicks in, it's an insanely uplifting motivational song. It goes over how P.T. Barnum had regrets, but he's willing to try again to regain the love and trust that his wife had in him before he betrayed her. It's absolutely stunning how well this song is, and I do believe that this song did not overstay its welcome. Which is slightly funny how I mentioned that, since this is the longest song in the movie. This song does still have its problems though. I still think that while Hugh Jackman was way too quiet in the beginning, it's not as bad as The Greatest Show, and aside from that, I would say that this song deserves this spot on this list. A Million Dreams Reprised is short but very adorable. It's not as powerful as the original, mainly because this is just P.T. Barnum's kids just singing the song with him coming in the end. While the original plays through a time lapse throughout P.T. Barnum and Chariot Barnum's lives, this is just singing under a blanket. So I hope you all are able to see why I place this one here. Tightrope is absolutely beautiful and breathtaking. The entire song from start to end might just have my favorite editing out of any song on this list. Every single word just hits me in a way that I can't describe. It's just so masterfully told in almost every single way. Michelle Williams knocks it out of the ballpark with this one. Tightrope follows as P.T. Barnum goes on a tour across America, leaving Chariot and his kids behind, and this song goes over how she followed him into every risky decision he made up till that point. and how those decisions led to where they are now, and how she only wanted PT to be there for her and their kids. Another part about this song that I like is how Zac Efron and Zendaya's characters are put into this song, showing their struggles without PT running the circus. It shows all of the performers being booed at. It was all just put together so very beautifully. This is an absolutely gorgeous song, very well done. A Million Dreams is absolutely fantastic. It's a very uplifting and fitting song for this movie, especially for P.T. Barnum given what happens later in the film. And speaking of that, the duet between Michelle Williams and Hugh Jackman is absolutely amazing. I loved it so much, and like I mentioned before, this song takes place over their lives as they both grow up until they're in adulthood. The editing for this was done very well. The child actors for young P.T. and Chariot were fantastic. But with that, I have nothing else to say for this one. Rewrite the Stars is an absolutely beautiful gem in disguise. Zac Efron and Zendaya are absolutely amazing singing together. They're a perfect duo in this movie. This song brings the right amount of energy, excitement, and emotion that perfectly goes together so incredibly well with this song's cinematography. I love the scene where Zac Efron and Zendaya sing "All I Want Is to Fly With You, All I Want Is to Follow With You," and as they are singing, they go up and down on the rope. That was truly a beautiful sight to see. But I do believe that there is one more song left on this list, so I think it's only right if we get to that one now. Tightrope, A Million Dreams, and Rewrite the Stars might be overall better songs than this one, but this is the one song I remember watching back in 2017, and to this day I still absolutely adore it. And yes, I am talking about The Other Side. First off, the choreography is amazing. The way this song was handled was great. I love how Zac Efron and Hugh Jackman are just allowed to walk on the tables of this bar and get away with it. Like, seriously, how? And I love how P.T. basically sings this song hoping to get Philip to join him in his circus, and it actually works by the end. And he starts to have feelings for Anne, played by Zendaya. This song holds a special place in my heart for how it affects the story, and just has great singing, choreography, beat, and lyrics. It's just all done so perfectly well. And I have nothing bad to say about it, but if I had to say something, it would be about the audio. You can listen to it on Atlantic Records' official channel. I personally feel like the sound effects from the movie add a lot to the song itself. It feels like a slight step down from the version in the movie, but just off the music video in the movie, it's absolutely fantastic. Hugh Jackman, Zac Efron, you both did amazing on this one. But with that, I'm going to end this video here. Please be sure to subscribe if you are new here, and I will be seeing you all next time.